Listen carefully, because this is not just another message. This is not something you scroll past. This is not something you ignore and come back to later. No, this is a warning, a divine interruption. Because there are moments in life when time itself pauses, when heaven leans closer to earth, when something greater than logic, greater than coincidence begins to speak directly to your soul. And this, right now, is one of those moments. Because what you're about to hear is not casual motivation. It is not entertainment. It is not something you play in the background while your mind is somewhere else. This is a warning wrapped in mercy. There are moments in life when everything seems normal on the surface, yet beneath it, something powerful is shifting. Invisible doors are opening. Silent battles are being fought. Decisions are being weighed, not just by you, but by forces greater than you can see. And right now, you are standing in one of those moments. The 23rd, the 24th, and the 25th of March 2026 are not random days. They are not just numbers passing by on a calendar. They are a spiritual checkpoint, a divine intersection where your choices will determine your direction. Some of you feel it already, that restlessness, that unusual pressure, that sense that something is about to happen, but you can't explain what. That's not anxiety, that's awareness, because when God is about to shift something in your life, He doesn't always send comfort first. Sometimes He sends a warning, a signal, a stirring in your spirit that refuses to let you stay the same. And here is the truth you must accept. When God warns you, it is never to punish you. It is to protect you. But protection only works if you listen. Too many people pray for guidance, but ignore instruction. They ask for blessings, but reject discipline. They want elevation, but resist correction. And then they wonder why doors close, why peace disappears, why everything begins to fall apart. It's not always because life is against you. Sometimes it's because you ignored the moment that could have changed everything. And these 3 days, 23rd, 24th, and 25th, carry that kind of weight. This is not about fear. This is about awareness, because something is being revealed to you. For some of you, it's a truth you've been avoiding. For others, it's a habit you've been excusing. For others, it's a decision you keep delaying. You keep saying, "I'll fix it later. I'll handle it next week. It's not that serious." But what if I told you, delay is the very thing that's costing you? What if the blessing you've been praying for is waiting on the other side of obedience? And what if ignoring these days pushes that blessing further away than you can imagine? Listen carefully. There are moments when God whispers. There are moments when He nudges. And then there are moments when He warns. This is a warning moment, because something is out of alignment. Maybe it's your environment. Maybe it's the people around you. Maybe it's the people around you. Maybe it's your own mindset that has slowly drifted away from truth. You've become comfortable in places you once prayed to escape. You've accepted behaviors you once promised you would never tolerate. You've silenced your inner voice just to maintain temporary peace. But deep down you know something isn't right. And these 3 days are not here to destroy you. They are here to wake you up, because ignoring what you know always leads to regret. And regret doesn't arrive loudly. It doesn't knock on your door and announce itself. It creeps in quietly. First, it takes your clarity. Then, it steals your confidence. Then, it slowly erodes your opportunities, until you look back and realize you lost more than you ever thought possible, not because you weren't capable, but because you didn't act when it mattered most. And that's why this message is urgent, because time is moving. Whether you're ready or not, the 23rd will come, the 24th will pass, the 25th will close, and what you do within those days will echo into your future. Some of you are being called to let go. Let go of that toxic connection you keep holding on to. Let go of the mindset that keeps telling you you're not enough. Let go of the habits that are quietly destroying your potential. Because you cannot step into what God has prepared for you while holding on to what He's trying to remove. Others of you are being called to step up, to take responsibility, to make the decision you've been avoiding, to finally act on the vision that's been placed in your heart. You keep waiting for the perfect time, but what if this is the time? What if these 3 days are your opportunity, your window, your moment to align with something greater? And if you miss it, you don't just lose time, you lose momentum. You lose positioning, because destiny is not just about where you're going, it's about when you move. And timing matters. There are doors that open only for a season. There are opportunities that don't come back twice. There are moments that once missed cannot be recreated. And the danger is, you won't realize it immediately. At first, everything will seem fine. Life will go on. Nothing dramatic will happen. But slowly, things will begin to shift. Opportunities will feel just out of reach. Peace will become harder to hold on to. Clarity will fade into confusion. And you'll start asking yourself, what changed? But the real question will be, what did I ignore? Because ignoring a warning doesn't cancel the consequence, it only delays it. And that's the part most people don't understand. God doesn't force you. He doesn't control you. He gives you the choice. But every choice carries a direction. Every decision creates a path. And these 3 days are placing a decision right in front of you. Not a small one, not a temporary one, a defining one. So ask yourself, what have I been avoiding? What have I been excusing? What have I been delaying? Because the answer to those questions is connected to your next level. This is not about being perfect. It's about being aware enough to recognize the moment, aware enough to take responsibility, aware enough to act before it's too late. Because regret has a voice, and it sounds like this: I should have listened. I knew something felt off. I had the chance, and I didn't take it. Don't let that be your story. Not this time. Because you've been given something powerful right now. Not everyone receives a warning before a shift. Not everyone gets a chance to prepare before things change. But you are being told. You are being shown. You are being called to pay attention. And that means something. That means you still have time. Time to correct. Time to align. Time to choose differently. But time is limited. And these 3 days are proof of that. So don't treat them like every other day. Don't wake up and move through them on autopilot. Don't distract yourself with things that don't matter. Don't ignore the inner voice that keeps trying to guide you. Lean into it. Listen, reflect, act. Because what you do in these moments will determine what happens next. And understand this clearly. This is not about losing everything in a single instant. It's about slowly drifting away from everything that was meant for you. One ignored warning at a time. One delayed decision at a time. One missed opportunity at a time. Until one day you realize you are far from where you were supposed to be. But it doesn't have to be that way. Not if you choose differently now. Not if you take this seriously. Not if you take this seriously. Not if you recognize that this is not coincidence, it's intervention. A moment placed directly in your path to redirect you, to protect you, to prepare you, to position you. But positioning requires participation. You have to move, you have to decide, you have to respond, because silence is also a decision. Ignoring is also a choice, and both come with consequences. So here is your call. Pay attention on the 23rd. Be intentional on the 24th. Make your move on the 25th. Don't wait for another sign. Don't look for confirmation from others. Don't talk yourself out of what you already feel deep inside. You already know, and that knowing is your guide. Because at the end of the day, this is not about fear. It's about alignment. It's about stepping into the version of your life that requires courage, awareness, and action. And these 3 days are your opportunity to do exactly that. So don't look away. Don't scroll past this moment in your life. Stand in it, face it, own it, because what you choose now will shape everything that comes next. And years from now, you will look back at this moment, and you will either say, I listened and everything changed, or I ignored it and I paid the price. The choice is yours. And now, listen even deeper, because this is where most people turn away. This is where distraction becomes louder than truth. This is where comfort tries to pull you back into old patterns. This is where your mind starts to say, it's not that serious. But that is the test. Because the moment a warning arrives, resistance follows. You'll suddenly feel tired. Why? You'll suddenly feel tired, or will suddenly feel confused. You'll suddenly feel the urge to delay, to scroll, to ignore, to push it aside. And it won't feel like danger, it will feel like normal. That's how misalignment works. Quiet, subtle, almost invisible. But you are not meant to move blindly anymore. You are not meant to repeat cycles you already recognize. You are not meant to ignore signs you have already seen before. Think about it. How many times have you felt something wasn't right, and you stayed anyway? How many times did your intuition speak, but you silenced it? How many times did you delay a decision, only to regret it later? This is not your first warning, but it can be your last one before a major shift. Because patterns don't break themselves, they wait for you to become aware enough, strong enough, and honest enough to say, not this time. And these 3 days are giving you that chance. But understand this, opportunity and warning often arrive together. One opens a door, the other tells you what will happen if you don't walk through it. So while part of this message is about what you could lose, another part is about what you could gain. Clarity, peace, direction, elevation. The life you've been asking for isn't far away. It's just on the other side of a decision you've been avoiding. And the longer you delay it, the heavier it becomes. That's why you feel pressure. Not because something is wrong with you, but because something inside you knows it's time. Time to outgrow old versions of yourself. Time to release what no longer aligns. Time to step into something greater, even if it feels uncomfortable. Because growth is never comfortable. But staying the same, that's where the real cost is. And that's what this warning is trying to protect you from. Not failure, but stagnation. Not loss, but limitation. Because there is something waiting for you that requires a different version of you, a more disciplined you, a more focused you, a more aware you. And these 3 days are your preparation ground. This is where you prove to yourself that you're ready. Not by talking, not by wishing, but by acting, even in small ways. Waking up with intention, paying attention to your thoughts, choosing your actions carefully, listening more than you speak, because awareness is the first step to transformation. And transformation begins with a decision, a quiet one, a personal one, a moment where you say, I'm not ignoring this anymore. And when you make that decision, everything begins to shift, not instantly, but intentionally, You'll start noticing things you didn't see before. You'll start feeling clarity where there was confusion. You'll start feeling clarity where there was confusion. You'll start moving with purpose instead of hesitation. And that's how alignment begins. But let's be real for a moment. Not everyone will take this seriously. Some will hear this and dismiss it. Some will hear this and dismiss it. Some will feel it and still choose comfort. Some will say, maybe later. And later will cost them. Because later is where most dreams go to disappear. Later is where potential gets buried under excuses. Later is where opportunities fade quietly. And before you know it, later becomes never. Don't let that happen to you. Not when you've been given this level of awareness. Not when you've been called to pay attention. Because being chosen is not about being special. It's about being responsible. Responsible for your growth. Responsible for your decisions. Responsible for the direction your life is taking. And right now, responsibility is calling you, not loudly, but clearly, through this message, through your thoughts, through that feeling you can't shake. So don't run from it. Lean into it, because everything you've been asking for is connected to this moment of honesty, this moment of truth between you and yourself. No distractions, no excuses, no pretending, just clarity. What needs to change, what needs to end, what needs to begin. And once you have that answer, move, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's uncertain, even if no one else understands. Because you are not moving for them. You are moving for your future, and your future is being shaped right now. In these choices, in these days, in these moments. The 23rd is where awareness begins. The 24th is where alignment deepens. The 25th is where action defines everything. And after that, things will not be the same, not because of magic, but because of movement. Because once you respond to a warning, you activate change. And change always leads somewhere. The question is, where will it lead you? Closer to your purpose, or further away from it, closer to peace, or deeper into confusion, closer to growth, or stuck in the same cycle. The answer is not in the future. It's in what you do now. So don't underestimate these days. Don't treat them like something small, because the smallest moments often carry the biggest impact. A single decision can redirect years of your life. A single moment of courage can unlock doors you didn't even know existed, and a single act of awareness can save you from years of regret. That's the power of paying attention. That's the power of listening when it matters most. And right now, it matters, more than you realize. So take a breath, slow down, and really ask yourself, am I going to ignore this? Or am I going to act? Because once these days pass, you won't get them back. You won't get to redo this moment. You won't get to redo this moment. You won't get to rewind and choose differently. This is it. This is your window. Your opportunity to align with something greater. Your chance to step out of old patterns and into a new path. And yes, it may feel uncomfortable. Yes, it may require letting go of things you're used to. Yes, it may challenge you in ways you didn't expect. But that's how you know it's real. Because real change always demands something from you, but it also gives something back. Stronger clarity, deeper peace, greater purpose. And a life that feels aligned instead of forced. And isn't that what you've been asking for? A life that makes sense, a path that feels right, a future that reflects who you truly are. Then this is where it begins. Not tomorrow, not next week, now, in these 3 days, in this decision. in this moment of awareness. So don't look away. Don't shrink back into comfort. Don't silence the voice that's trying to guide you. Stand firm. Stay present and move with intention. Because what you choose now will echo far beyond these days. It will shape your habits. It will influence your direction. It will determine the kind of life you step into next. And one day you will look back at this exact moment, and you will remember how you felt. You will remember what you knew. You will remember what you knew. You will remember the choice you made. And that memory will either bring peace or regret. So choose wisely. Choose awareness. Choose alignment. Choose action. Because you were never meant to live a life of what if. You were meant to live a life of I did. And this is your moment to prove it. Don't waste it.